Dynasties are here. This is about legacy, your family identity, your ideals, your crest, all carried on long after you kick the bucket. A dynasty might be a whole family of nobles, or mysterious icons, or wealthy entrepreneurs. But let's back up a bit and talk about how you can start a dynasty. As the founder and head of a dynasty, you get to make all the big decisions. Choosing the family crest,
cute.
enforcing the family values, and even inviting your favorite family members from other households to join. There are two measures of a successful dynasty. Unity, meaning how well dynasty members get along, and prestige, which is earned by living by your values, or lost by going against them. Naming your heir ensures your dynasty will carry on, though your cool auntie is probably too busy to accept. Maybe choose somebody who actually wants the position. There you go. Individual actions may only have a small impact on prestige, but every little bit helps. And prestige equals perks, like getting a tutor or faster promotions at work. Everyone say Nepo baby. Or even making alliances easier, since prestige receives a boost from forging connections with other dynasties too. Even when you find yourself facing off against a rival dynasty, there's an opportunity to come out ahead. Oh, nice one. But there's also a risk to your personal rank if you hurt prestige. And if it drops low enough, someone could challenge you for leadership. But hey, if you're not happy being part of a certain dynasty, you can go start a new one. Just make sure you choose family members who will help you gain prestige instead of lose it. Uh-oh, that secret affair better not come to light. It's important to ensure no one discovers your dirty laundry, because with devious conspirators about, every one of your family's indiscretions is a potential scandal waiting to break.
Exciting.
Take advantage of the situation by leveraging your new knowledge. Use it to form a trusted bond as a close, loyal confidant. Or extort them for power or simoleons, whichever. Oof, that will hurt prestige quite a bit. You can try and do damage control by declaring the troublesome dynasty member the outcast. But the effects of a scandal may last a while. Maybe it would have been better to stay in your original dynasty. But the choice is yours. Just sim it and see. Now you just have to decide if you want the crown. Ooh, shiny.
Okay, interesting. I like it. Quite a bit to go through there, I think. So let's go back through and have a little look together. I'm very interested by this trailer. And they look so cool, that little slow motion walk they've got going on here. And their outfits as well. Look at the little child. These robes are so cool. And I love, like, they've got like matching hair. This dress is really cool. This tiara in her hair. I hope that the tiara comes separate to the hair. Definitely. And then we can use the hair just on our regular Sims as well. Family tree was mentioned a lot in this trailer, so I'm hoping that means that we're going to get a really big sort of overhaul of our family trees in the game. We've got obviously your standard, you've got your parents coming down into their only born here son. This is who he's married into. This is his daughter with his wife. But what we've got different here is we've got the crest that they've chosen for their dynasty. So he obviously was king, and then I'm guessing here from the fact that these guys have got the decoration around their their pictures here means that these are the current queen and the next potential heirs. So he's obviously stepped down and passed it on his daughter. He's still got the crest there, so you can see that he obviously was king, but now he's actually passed it on to his daughter. She has the extra little symbol here, which I presume means she's the current heir of the throne, the current queen, and then it will be between these two as to who gets the crown next. What will be interesting to see, we've got a daughter here and then a little son here. In, for example, the UK, it wasn't until sort of like 2013, 14, I think, that they made it that if, for example, you had your firstborn was a son, and then you had a daughter, and then you had another son. If the firstborn son wasn't given the crown, it would skip the daughter and it would go to the next boy. But now we have it that it would just go in order of, so first, second born, and so on. It'll be interesting to see how it is played out in The Sims. So is it always going to go to the first? Or, for example, the fact that they've both got this around their picture and the crest shows that there's potential it's going to go to either of them. So can you pick which one you want to be your heir? It won't just go to the firstborn, for example. Look at this world. I love this. Right down on the little harbour down here. That'll be interesting. Nice little spot. I love it. Okay, so we can have, so our dynasties don't have to just be kings or queens. So we can have families that have higher rankings. So basically, this is the kind of thing where, for example, if you think of things like the mafia, for example, or there are those families that have the higher wealth and have a bit of control over those around them. This is not necessarily having to be king and queen. So, of course, Nancy Landgrab. She's not a queen, but she's got her dynasty going on. This is interesting here. Okay. This is a very nice big wide family tree here. So we've got obviously siblings here. These three are our siblings, and then we've got who they've married in and out to, and then here I'm hoping that it's going to break it down a bit more so that we can have it labelled in terms of like who's our aunts and our uncles, our cousins, and that our games might actually recognise that for once, so that it's labelled who is our family out in the world. Okay, so the create your dynasty option here. So we've got, you can give it a name, a description, and then you can add in your own crest, which is really exciting. So you can choose the shape and the little symbol. And then we've got here, so skills and ideals. So you put in there the skills that you need to possibly have in your dynasty. So what the members who are part of the dynasty, this one, it looks like they need to be artistic, potentially good at some sword fighting going on over here. I'm not sure this one is, maybe cool. And then ideals, the kind of things that they want. So this looks like some sort of little like power symbol. Okay. And then your members, you can add your members. So you've got here, these are, some of your members are going to be some family members. And then also you can invite members from outside your family household as well. So that brings into like your kings and queens where they have their nobles. So they're not related, but they've got their high privileged nobles that potentially are part of their dynasty, whether they live with them or not. That's interesting. It'd be good to see what they can do as part of your dynasty if they're not on your lot. So how involved they'll actually be if they're off living in their own lots elsewhere. It feels a bit like the club system, get together. Whether it be kind of just getting together and doing things with the dynasty, or whether the members will do things if you're not playing with them, if they're in their own little households elsewhere. I wonder if they'll actually still be partaking in Dynasty things, and what the free will power will be like there, how much control you'll get, or whether we get, for example, pop-ups for them if they need to make any decisions, if we still make the decisions but they're just not on our lots. She looks so majestic, doesn't she? This is cute, a little painting of her. So yeah, this Dynasty, they wanted the ideal to be artistic. Okay, let's take a minute here. Everybody breathe. Fingers crossed. Sorry, not allowed to be on your phone? Okay, but are you going to give us a way to make that a thing, Sims team? Please, if we can turn off the using of the phones, that would be brilliant. Obviously, she's breaking the rule here and she's been found out and she's being told, no phones. But if we could actually have a way to turn off the phones for our Sims, that would be brilliant, because then we can do our medieval kings and queens without the phones. It's probably not going to happen. They've already sort of shown us that, you know, in the trailer, the scandals, you know, oh yeah, the scandal is, hey everybody, she's had an affair and she's texted everyone. So chances are very unlikely that there's going to be a way to turn off the phones. But if we could, how amazing would that be? We could turn it off. And even anything like rags to riches. You don't want a phone in rags to riches. You want to be living off the land. You want to be working your way up to having a house. You have no phone. Even tasks like this, challenges like this, if we can turn off the phones, that is high up there on my list of want for things for The Sims. So this is a little bit of a teaser, and I'm hoping this is their way of saying, we got you, you can do it. But yeah, I'm not gonna, I'll be sad if it doesn't happen. But it's The Sims, so I'm also going to expect it not to happen, and then be happy if it does. We'll see. So you can declare your heir. She doesn't want it. But he will have it. He's like, yes, please. It's cute. Okay, here we go. So this was the symbol earlier. So the Dynasty ideal, bold. You need to be bold to be part of this Dynasty. You need to go for it. You need to know what you're doing. That's interesting. And then you've got the prestige here. So you've got to work up through, you've got different ranks here. So we saw before that there was level 1 rank earlier in the trailer, and she lost the jewel, which knocked her down a rank. So that's interesting. I wonder what sort of things can help you go up ranks and also help you knock down ranks. I'm guessing scandals are going to have you knock down a few ranks there. You have to be passionate. That's a nice one. So passionate about your job, passionate about your family and the members, I wonder. I love this in the background here. Look at this little walkway with the swimming pool and the new tiles as well to get in the swimming pool. That's cool. All of these rattan light baskets as well hanging up here. Very nice. Okay, so Dynasty Pack, you can get a tutor. That's interesting. That would be quite good for some cross pack compatibility there as well. I wonder how that will help for things like whether the kids can get tutors for school, or if it is literally just for helping your family members or the members of your Dynasty to better themselves in how they work with the Dynasty. Okay, so nepotism. So nepo baby is a really like term by a few people. So it basically means, for example, if you've got a family and for example they've got their children, they've already got a foot up into the world of, say, the kingdom or a dynasty. They've got a head start in life, for example, because of who they're related to already. So they're normally from something like a wealthy family, family who's got higher ranks. This doesn't necessarily have to be in terms of like kings or queens, so because obviously you've really kind of got a higher rank with that anyway if you're the heir of like a throne. But being able to have our families that aren't necessarily like a king or a queen, for example, going back to things like the mafia family, you normally would have like a son or a daughter or someone who is going to be your heir to that, and chances are they're going to get it over, say, their cousin, whoever. You see that in terms of like celebrities, for example. People love to term Nepo baby for certain celebrities. So, for example, someone like Lily Collins, she's a very well-known actress, but obviously her dad is Phil Collins. She had her step up in life. Other people, for example, like all of the Beckham's children. So there's a bit of a scandal going on in the moment with Brooklyn Beckham and his family. But for example, all of those children, they already naturally had a step up in life because of who their parents were. And that is what people would consider a Nepo baby. I love this lounger and this lamp again. This is cute. Okay, so alliances, that's interesting. So you can have different dynasties, so I guess in different neighbours or different worlds, and you can form alliances with your different dynasties. And I wonder what that brings into gameplay. They're happy about it. She won the fight, her rank went up. He won the fight, her rank's going down. So this is interesting. You can have people either in your dynasty or I imagine maybe even out, basically wanting to be the head of the dynasty, and they're like, yeah, let me be the head of the dynasty. This kind of reminds me of, you don't really necessarily get that as much, I think, in terms of like kingdoms. So you wouldn't have just someone related to the king coming and being like, yeah, no, this is my throne now. I think you should give it up and give it to me. Normally that goes down in terms of who the heir is, unless they decide to obviously step down and someone else takes over. But yeah, being like, yeah, I want to be the head of the dynasty, that kind of reminds me of like the sort of the natural animal kingdom with like lions. So they fight their way, and sometimes you'll find like another lion will step in and take over the kingdom. So it's interesting to see what that would be like in the gameplay. Or if you don't want to be taken over, you can just decide to leave the dynasty instead. And then maybe you can start your own. Let's just take a step back there and have a little look of the world. This looks really cool. It all looks really built up. And then you've got this big market square. There's a few people here. She's obviously doing some sort of speech, trying to get her dynasty members maybe. How busy this is actually going to be in terms of gameplay, considering, for example, this is the neighbourhood for one of the kingdoms, and I think it only had 2 residential lots, potentially 3 at a push off the map. There's not going to be that many people just randomly strolling around, so it would be nice to have it a lot busier. I mean, imagine having that completely filled out with Sims just potting around doing their thing, but unless there's some sort of event going on, I think this world's going to probably look quite empty despite how built up it is, which is a shame. It would be good if we could have a lot more Sims just wandering around our games. She's like, oh yes, my husband, and he's just like, oh yeah, whatever. Off to have a little secret affair. Okay, this is really interesting. Research another's family tree. So you can presumably do this with any Sims in the world. That'll be fun. You can research their tree and you can find out any secrets. So, for example, he was researching their family tree and he is finding out that he, although married, has been having an affair and he has a secret child, illegitimate children. So obviously this is their heir, their daughter. She doesn't have the symbol, so that's quite interesting. She doesn't have the crest. So I wonder if that means that if they're an illegitimate child, they can't be an heir unless that's only because they've been found out. So this is new. So we knew that we could extort people for scandals, so basically blackmail them, get the money out of them. But now we know we can keep it a secret. I will probably extort, much more fun, but that's also a cool thing you can do, keep a secret too. So he's like, don't worry, my lips are sealed, I'm not going to tell anyone. Or actually, no, just, pay up. I'm going to tell everyone about your secret child. The way he's laughing. Oh. So this is how you can, one of the ways you can be declared an outcast is if you do something that's going to put your dynasty at, risk of falling down in rank for any reason. What are they going to do? Bye-bye, you're an outcast now. You're no longer associated with this dynasty. You're pulling us down. You're like, no, we're actually gonna stay together and team up against this guy. Okay. I am really, really glad about this trailer, actually. I think that this has brought some excitement to the idea of what could be happening with the family tree. I forever have wanted that our family trees be better in terms of for legacy play. So bringing in those aspects of potentially being able to have it listed as like, our aunts and our uncles and things like that. That's what I'm getting from this trailer. Potentially it might not be what's happening, but they're focusing on family trees here quite a bit. So hopefully that's something that we get. And I think most importantly out of that whole trailer, the thing that is most exciting is the potential of something to do with no phones. If we can turn it off, brilliant. So, if that's not in place already, guys, you've got till February the 12th. So, quick, sneak it in, add it into the end of the expansion. But yeah, we're going to have a base game update on the 3rd of February before this. So we'll see what sort of things come in. I'm going to presume we'll get like family tree updates and potentially if anything did happen with the phones, for example, that would hopefully come in the base game update. So it wouldn't just be for this expansion pack. Hopefully we'd get that spread out across all the other worlds. So even if you don't buy this pack, we might have the chance of bettering our family trees for legacy families, which would be great. But yeah, so let's see when it's out. We will come back and I will do a full-on game review, have a little playthrough, see what things are not being shown in the trailer that are happening in game, and also things that are shown in the trailer that actually don't exist, and give you a proper pros and cons list as to why this is whether a game you might want to purchase or not. But thank you so much for watching this trailer reaction with me today, guys, and let me know down in the comments below if there's anything that you think I missed in the trailer that you thought of that might be worth discussing as well, and I will catch you again soon. Thanks, bye.